Hello everyone, this is Talia from Talia's Crochet Creations, and today I'm going to be showing you how I add ribbing to my garment pieces after the piece has been made or joined together. So I used Lion Brand's Comfy Cotton Blend for this piece. I used a 6.5mm hook, and for the ribbing I'm using a 5.5mm hook. Okay, so I usually add one row of single crochet or double crochet or half double crochet after the final piece and everything has been joined, and I go ahead and chain, let's say I'm gonna chain 8 for this one. So if you wanted a longer ribbing, you would chain more. If you want shorter, you chain less. But I like to chain 8. It gives me a decent size ribbing in length. Okay, so I chain 8, and this is the bottom of the piece. So it's it's 2 panels seamed together, and then what I do, I just go in that first chain, I single crochet right in there in the first chain from the hook, and single crochet in each chain across, going back towards the body. So I chained 8, so we should have 7 single crochets in total. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so now you're here and you have, this is the bottom of your piece. So you've worked your single crochets back to your body. So what you want to do is single crochet 2 together from the panel. So you're going to go in, I like to go in this first stitch. You can start from here, but I like to close this gap right here. So I single crochet 2 together, and then I flip my work and I work back down this piece down here. So now I will put 7 single crochets down this ribbing, and this is done in the back loop only. You can do it through both loops, but then you won't have the ribbing effect. And I like, for my last stitch, I like to work through both loops just so it doesn't stretch too much, because we all know crochet stretches a lot. Then you chain 1 and flip your work again, because you're going to be working back towards the body. So I single crochet through the both loops in my first stitch, and then for the remaining 6 I single crochet through the back loop only. And after we've done that, you have your next 2 stitches here. So you just single crochet 2 together, and turn your work again. And now you'll be working in the next 7 stitches through the single crochet through the back loop only. And then for the last stitch, I work through both loops. You chain 1 and turn your work again, and you single crochet going back towards the body of your piece. So single crochet through both loops, and then single crochet through the back loops for the remaining 6 stitches. Oops. And I like to count. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and sometimes you have to push back because your last single crochet can get hidden by that turn. So you probably want to pull it out a little bit and get right in there, because if you miss a stitch, your ribbing will begin to become uneven, and it's right in there. Just gotta play with it a little bit to pull it up. And yes, it is tedious, but I find that it's easier, or my ribbing doesn't stretch out as much when I do it this way after a couple wears. And this is becoming a pain. Hold on. There we go. And now you single crochet two together from the next 2 stitches on the bottom of your piece. And you will continue that all the way around until you get to the end. And this yarn it's very soft, but it's also very splitty, so that's why it's taking me a little slower than normal when completing the ribbing. Yes, the ribbing takes a lot of time. It's very time consuming, but it's so worth it. And we go through the last. There we go. And you would just continue all the way around, and I'll show you how it begins to look and how it will look at the end. Let's just do this last row and you can meet me back once you're finished. And this is how it looks. And I do this with bodies, I do this with sleeves and everything. I use it, we're actually going this way. I use a smaller hook so I don't have to do decreases as much, because naturally when you go down in hook size, it shrinks your work, and that's what we want with the ribbing, because I want it to be a little snug around the waist or around my wrist or on my collar, and like that. So there we have the piece starting, and I will meet you back when I've come back to this end and show you how I join. Okay, so we're down to our last, I completed my ribbing all around, and I'm down to my last single crochet 2 together from the bottom of the panel. So I'm going to show you how I close the ribbing and join both sides. So single crochet 2 together, and you go ahead and work your last row of ribbing, or your second to last row, I think. Like so. Single crochet in both loops at the end. Chain 1. And you go right ahead. You see there's no more single crochet on the bottom of the panel to join. So once you get to this end, you did I chain 1? Yes, I did. You don't chain 1. You don't want to chain 1. So what you want to do is make sure you're on the back of your work. Make sure you're working on the wrong side. So I have my seam in here, and I'm just going to single crochet the 2 ends together, and so what I like to do is insert my hook back into that last single crochet I worked, and then into the bottom of the edge from the first row, like that. And then I just pull through the yarn and make like a little slip stitch. And then once I get that, I know the bottoms are joined, and then I just insert my hook through both loops on this side, and then 1 loop on that side, and single crochet the ends together. And you can slip stitch. I single crochet just for durability. And you want to do that all the way to the top of your opening. And it will get a little tight as you get closer to your end. And this is going to be the last single crochet right here that we put through. So we go through here, and it is a little tricky, and that last one is always hiding. You go through the second part and do your single crochet. And what I like to do, there's still going to be a little opening right there. So what I like to do is I take my scissors and I cut a good piece. It doesn't have to be that long. And then I fasten off. Then I take a yarn needle. Oops. See, it's all splitty. Just make sure everything goes through the needle eye. I'll just probably fold it and push it through like that. Okay, once you get your needle in and you have a gap, I just sew the gap close up top, and there you'll have your seam closed and secured. So if you flip it here, you see there's no more gaps right there. And there you have your ribbing on the bottom piece of your garment. And this also works with sleeves. I do the same thing for my sleeves, and then I just weave in my ends. And cut. And there we have our ribbing all the way around our piece, and this is the right side. Okay, and that's how you do it. Thank you for watching. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, you can drop a comment, or I'm on Instagram as Talia Crochet Creations, or you can email me as well. I hope you have a great day. Thank you.